right, so tell us a little bit about yourself. What's your name, your year,
Okay.
all the good stuff.
So I'm Anna Gonzalez. I'm a senior, originally from Wichita, Kansas, lived in McGlynn Hall here on campus. Film, television, and theater major. Actually applied to Notre Dame thinking I wanted to be a marketing major, go into advertising. Things didn't really work out that way, but honestly it's for the better because I really love film and TV, and the more I do it, the more I realize this is what I have to be doing for the rest of my life because it's the only thing I'll enjoy.
So tell us a little bit more about that. I mean, obviously you've mentioned you made a documentary film, so
Yeah.
care to explain?
Yeah, so actually I had no idea I was going to take that class until a week after classes started. I was in one class that I realized I was not going to enjoy, and I saw a listing for a documentary class, and only 4 people were in it, so there were plenty of seats left. I thought that'll be fun, that'll be really cool to make a documentary. I signed up, and it was the hardest class I have ever taken. Definitely the most worthwhile, but by far the hardest. It took up so much of my time outside of class. But it was really cool because I got to interview some really cool people. My documentary was about stand-up comedy, specifically comedy at Notre Dame. This is not a school that's known for funny people. You know, we're all business all the time. And I wanted to focus on the Student Stand-Ups Club because that's a group of really funny people. Some of them are planning on pursuing stand-up comedy professionally after graduation. It's like, why would you pay, you know, $250,000 to go to school to pursue a career that you don't even need a degree for at all? And in making the film, I learned a lot about comedy in general. I learned a lot about Notre Dame. I learned a lot about the student body through these, 15 or 20 kids in the group. I got to interview grads. I got to interview people in admissions. It was really cool, opened my eyes a lot to my own education experience and why I'm here and what I'm doing, because people don't think of Notre Dame as a film school. I mean, so in that way, it's really similar, and I really related with my subjects because they're talking about how parents are asking them, like, you're going to waste this money to go do this, to run around and tell jokes, and, people ask me all the time, you're going to waste this money to go move out to LA and try and make movies? And I'm like, well, that's not really how it works, but, it's sort of a dream of mine, and I feel like if you have it, you have to pursue it, and that's why I was so passionate about making this documentary, because the subjects in my film are the same way about a different thing. So that was huge. And that was a pivotal project for me, because as hard as it was, I enjoyed it the entire time. There were obviously a few times where I was like, I just want to quit, I want to be done, just leave the footage, nobody can ever see it. But as frustrating as it was, there were times where I was just like, this is the coolest thing. This is the coolest thing. And getting feedback from people's parents and their friends and people I've never met before, that is awesome. Somebody approached one of my subjects in the dining hall and said the film changed everything she wants to get out of her Notre Dame experience, and that was just kind of like, and then like when he told me that, I almost cried, because I was like, that's the coolest thing, that I could change somebody's opinion about the school that they're already going to. I mean, you already made the decision to go here, so the fact that I could change how you see the place that you decided to be in, that's amazing, and I'm really glad I could have done that.
So moving forward, do you see yourself making more documentary films, or what kind of path do you want to take?
I definitely like the documentary style, nonfiction. I do really like fiction and telling, made up stories, because I think they have a lot of value. But I think telling real stories about real people is so valuable. And how I continue to do that, I have no idea. I've thought about going and trying to just be, an indie documentary maker, because I've met a couple and they love what they do, and it's a really, really hard job. I think making documentaries is probably the hardest kind of film to make. But I think they really have the most power to affect people and change the world and make people kind of open their eyes and look at everything they've been looking at for however many years, look at it and see it differently, and in the best way. So I don't really know what's next. But yeah, I do know that I want to keep telling stories, and I want to keep giving people a voice that maybe they wouldn't have had without film.